Cleveland, Ohio, September 27, 1986. A city once known for steel and smoke was about to make history. Not with fire or iron, but with air and color. Thousands gathered downtown, their faces lit with wonder because on this day, Cleveland would try to break a world record by releasing 1.5 million balloons into the sky. A project called Balloonfest '86. It was meant to be a symbol of joy, unity, and hope. A celebration to prove Cleveland could rise again. But what started as a dream would soon turn into a nightmare. The event was organized by United Way of Cleveland, a charity known for good causes, helping children, funding shelters, and inspiring hope. They wanted something spectacular, something that would make the world look at Cleveland and say, "This city can do anything." So they teamed up with a company called Balloon Art by Treb, led by a visionary artist, Trevor Reese, who specialized in balloon sculptures. He promised the impossible, a sky full of color, a sight never seen before. Over 2,500 volunteers, mostly high school students, spent hours filling balloons with helium inside massive netted enclosures. Each balloon was tied, counted, and stacked. The goal, 1.5 million. The city was electric. The news channels were live. Cleveland was about to break Los Angeles's world record. By noon, Public Square looked like a carnival. Vendors sold popcorn and flags. Children pointed at the enormous balloon cloud trapped beneath giant nets. The air buzzed with laughter, anticipation, and pride. No one imagined danger. No one thought about weather, wind, or flight paths, because who could fear something so beautiful? At exactly 1:50 p.m., the countdown began. The crowd chanted, 10, 9, 8, and then, boom, the nets opened. The sky exploded in color. News anchors called it Cleveland's rainbow. Reporters smiled, describing as the balloons climbed. Winds shifted, a cold front moved over Lake Erie. Instead of floating east and disappearing, the balloon drifted south and then downward. Within minutes, the brilliant sky began to collapse. Thousands of balloons started raining back to Earth. They covered highways, airports, and the surface of Lake Erie. At first, it seemed harmless. Balloons everywhere, bouncing, floating, scattering. But soon, chaos followed. Burke Lakefront Airport was forced to shut down temporarily because pilots couldn't see through the swarm. Highways were littered with rubber debris, causing cars to swerve and accidents to happen. Local farms and horses panicked as balloons flooded their fields. And out on Lake Erie, 2 fishermen were missing. Earlier that morning, 2 men, Raymond Broderick and Bernard Sulzer, had gone fishing. When they didn't return, the Coast Guard launched a search. But after the balloon release, the sky and water were blanketed with thousands of floating shapes. Colorful, bobbing balloons covering every wave. To rescuers in helicopters and boats, it looked like a sea of bodies. They couldn't tell what was human and what wasn't. The Coast Guard said it was like trying to find a needle in a haystack, if the haystack was alive and moving. The search failed. Days later, the men's bodies washed ashore. By evening, what had started as Cleveland's proudest moment turned into national embarrassment. News headlines read, Balloonfest disaster. Cleveland's cloud of chaos. The city faced lawsuits, from the fishermen's families, from the airport, from local farmers. Environmentalists called it a catastrophe disguised as celebration. Tons of latex and plastic littered Lake Erie and the city streets, and the world's biggest balloon launch quietly became one of history's most tragic. No one had intended harm. Every volunteer, every child, every organizer, they believed they were part of something beautiful, but beauty without caution can become destruction. Balloonfest '86 became a lesson in hubris, in how human ambition, even in celebration, can lose sight of consequences. It wasn't just balloons that filled the sky that day. It was pride. And when the wind changed, pride fell, just like the balloons. Today, Cleveland remembers that day quietly. Few speak of it, but the images remain. The colorful sky, the chaos, and the sorrow that followed. It stands as one of America's strangest tragedies, a reminder that even the most innocent dreams can have unexpected consequences. In 1986, Cleveland tried to touch the sky, but the sky fell back down. Sometimes, history isn't made by what we build, but by what we let go.